Hello and welcome to my class. Today I will give you a short summary of the story Two Gentlemen of Verona written by J Cronin. J Cronin was born in 1896 and he died in the year 1981. He was a Scottish dramatist, novelist and a physician. His stories were a good blend of his experiences as a doctor, his social conscience, and his extraordinary writing skills. His stories were made into successful movies and radio shows. The story takes place in Verona, which is in Italy. Verona is a famous historical and heritage site. Tourists visit the place throughout the year. J Cronin has written this story in first-person narrative. When the story begins, the author is traveling in his car with a companion through the foothills of the Alps. His car is stopped by two boys who are determined to sell some wild strawberries to him. But his driver, Luigi, tries to stop him from buying the strawberries. He says they can get better ones in the city and he does not approve the looks of the boys because they wear worn clothes, have brown skin and tangled hair. While conversing with the boys, they get to know that the boys are brothers. The elder one in jersey shirt and khaki pant is Nicola and he is 13 years old. The younger brother in shortened army tunic is Jacopo. He is 12 years old but looks shorter for his age. The author likes the boys and buys the biggest basket of strawberries from them. The following morning, he finds them shining shoes near the fountain in the public square. When he inquires, they say, along with selling fruits and shining shoes, they also take people for tours across the city and show the people all the places of interest like Juliet's tomb. The boys help the author in many ways, like buying cigarettes, getting him tickets for operas, suggesting the names of good restaurants, run all kinds of errands. Jacopo was lively as a squirrel, and Nicola's smile was steady and engaging. The author feels that though they were childish and innocent in many ways, they had a seriousness in their face. One windy, cold night, the author happens to see the boys alone in the public square waiting for the last bus from Padua so that they can sell off all the unsold newspapers. The author takes pity on them because they are working all the time. The following morning, he inquires them about why they are not using their hard-earned money to buy good clothes or to eat good food, because the boys usually eat black bread and figs. But the boys are embarrassed by such a question. When the author asks them if they are saving the money to emigrate to America, they simply say that they have other plans. The author tells the boys that he is leaving the town the following Monday and wants to know if he could be of any help to the boys. Jacopo tells the author that every Sunday they hire a bicycle and go to Poleta, which is 30 kilometers away from Verona. Jacopo requests the author to send them to Poleta in his car the next day. Since Luigi was off that Sunday, the author offers to take the boys to Poleta himself. Though Nicola hesitates, he eventually agrees to the plan. The author, who had expected a humble dwelling to be their destination, is astonished to see a red-roofed villa surrounded by a high stone wall. Before he could come out of his surprise, the boys jump out of the car, suggest him to go to a nearby cafe, and rush towards the villa. The author follows the boys after a few minutes. He finds a side entrance and he rings the bell. A pleasant looking woman with steel rimmed spectacles appears. Her white uniform makes the author realize that she is a trained nurse. He is surprised to see a trained nurse in a villa. He asks her about the boys, and the nurse leads him to a cubicle with a glass partition, and the nurse asks the author to look through the glass partition. The author finds the boys talking to a girl of about 20. She was wearing a pretty lace jacket and her eyes were soft and tender. She was eagerly listening to the chatters of the boys. She resembles the boys, who were actually her brothers. The nurse asks the author if he would like to go in and see Lucia, but the author leaves the place silently. He begs the nurse to tell him whatever she knows about the boys. The nurse eagerly briefs him that the boys and Lucia were from a cultured and well-off family. Their father was a widower and a well-known singer, but their father was killed in the war. Lucia herself was a trained singer. A bomb had destroyed their home, so the three children were thrown into the streets. The three children made a makeshift house and kept themselves alive amidst starvation, cold winter, and war. The boys' hatred for Germans made them join the resistance movement. After the war, when they came home, they found Lucia suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. The nurse adds that the boys brought Lucia to the hospital and persuaded them to take her in. Lucia had been in the hospital for 12 months and she was making good progress. And everyone believed that one day she would walk and sing again. The boys somehow managed to pay the hospital fee every week without fail. She wonders how they manage when work was scarce in Verona. The author doesn't say anything to her. The author waits outside for the boys. Throughout their journey in the car back home, the boys do not share any information with the author, and the author does not utter even a word. He makes them feel that their secret was safe with them, but the author was deeply touched by their devotion. War had not broken their spirit. I hope you all understood the story very well. For more such videos, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, like the video and share the video with your classmates. See you in next class.